Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be working on this EG hatchback, single cam turbo. What I'm going to be doing is I continue from when it got the intercooler installed. We didn't have material to finish this side piping, so I recently just did that. I didn't get to film it because it was just a simple weld, cut and weld, so got that done. But what I'm going to do now is I took the manifold and turbo apart. We're going to be doing a bumper exit with the V-band modified, the exhaust housing for a V-band, which I already done that. You can kind of see it's welded on the inside and partially welded on the outside. I'll show that in a little bit later in the detail. But took the turbo apart. Buddy of mine just recoated it, so it looks a little bit better. I relocated, I took the factory fan off and relocated it on the front side. You can kind of see it in there. And then I reversed the polarity for it to blow through instead of drawing through. So now there's a lot more room for the bumper exit to come across here and then come out the bumper. But what I'm going to do is probably use some pie cuts to get it, because this manifold is a CX Racing manifold, and it cocks the turbo up towards the radiator. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if it's like an AC friendly manifold, or it's just the way they designed it in the casting, but makes it a little inconvenient to get a tight bend around here. So I'll have to do a couple pie cuts around here, and then I have some manual 45 and 90s that I can manipulate it to go across. So, but that's pretty much it for this video. Let's get started. All right, I guess I'll start by showing you my pie cuts that I bought. I bought some from the guys from, I think, Under Pressure Performance out in Colorado. I can cut these myself, but it really tears up my blades cutting these. Stainless is a really hard material, and these are a little bit of money, but a blade on my saw is, you know, $100 some dollars. So I think in the long run, these will save me some money, and it's really nice. It's laser cut, finish, polish. So I really just got wipe them down and weld them. I mean, they're really good quality. And then most of my fab parts is from Ace Race Parts. So shout out to those guys and for getting me parts. But these are it. So I'm gonna put a couple together, tack them, and then see where I gotta go. So I'll show that when I get it all tacked up. All right, guys. Right now I'm just prepping some of these pie cuts. They're pretty clean already, but I'm just gonna wipe them up. I'm gonna wipe them off with acetone, and to get them clean, and I'll tack them right up. All right, now I'm just gonna put these pies together. Just one thing you want to do is when you put these pies, make sure you get them pretty uniform. And then if you don't, they look kind of weird. But some of the pie cuts I bought before are marked, you know, where center is, but this one isn't, which isn't a big deal. But you can kind of eyeball it, and then sometimes you can see the marking where the tube was cut. But usually when you can put it together and look at it, and then usually find like the shortest point, and that's usually where your center is, and just try to match it up. So what I usually do is just put it together and then just tack it. So what I do is I just tack it, no filler. I have my amps at 100, usually 100 amp. It doesn't need that much to weld, but for tacking, I can just smash on the pedal. Usually it makes a pretty hot arc and then tacks it together. So let's give that a try. try to square it up. Make sure your edge is all good, and just tack together. And it'll look like you want a uniform, all around the edges. I'm gonna do 3 of these just to get the angle I'm looking for, and then if I need more, I'll add it. I already fit it up. Just hand checked it to see if it's good, and it seems to be pretty good. And then when I do this, I try to tack in the same area, so my tacks are uniform. So when I go weld, it looks a little bit better. I mean, sometimes there's a slight difference when you weld it, but it's not a huge difference, but it'll make it look better. So try to take a little bit, a little better step to do it, and then usually a finished result will be a lot better. There it is, start of a lobster's tail, as they would call it. You kind of see it there, but fit and finish, these laser cut pies are great. Saved me a lot of time, and I think it's well worth the price. I think I paid for 6 of these, I think I paid around, give or take, probably 30 bucks shipped. So I got 12 of them. They were like 62 and some change, or 64. So I think for the cost, it's not too bad. Once I get it all tacked up and welded, I'm gonna purge it to make it, a little bit nicer. I've done it without purging them, and they hold up fine. But trying to get a better result, I'm gonna purge it. But that's what you get when the start of a pie cut. So I'm gonna fit that up on the car, and then see what that looks like, and then go from there. Alright, here it is, back on the car. I have my pie cut. I'm just gonna slip it on there. It should stay, because there's like a lip inside the V-band to catch it, and then you can see how tight it gets to the radiator. So, and I also have a mandrel bent 90, so that's gonna probably end up button up there. I gotta manipulate it a little bit to see where the angle I wanted it at, but you kind of get the idea of what it's doing. And then once I get the right angle on where I want it, I'm just gonna mark it with a marker, and then take it off, and then go tack it, and then go double check it back on. Once it's out like that, once I'm happy with where it needs to be, I'll get it, put it back on, and then I'll tack it to the V-band. But so let me get that fitted up, tacked, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Alright guys, I got the piece tacked up. Kind of see that lower piece is also tacked. So basically, three pie cuts, and then 290 to form this transition. So, but there it is. It's all tacked up. It's tacked to the V-band flange. You see the room between the radiator is pretty good. If he's gonna, if he upgrades to a thicker core down the road, which I'm pretty sure he will, because these single cam like to heat up when you boost them. So he'll still have room to put a new thicker core in it, to an aftermarket, radiator, but there's the transition. Pretty smooth. Fit up's pretty nice. And then what I have to do is add a straight section from here to here. Probably go under the radiator and then and come out through this side hole, which, you know, I can put a couple bends in it, and then after that, you know, it'll go under this and then come out here, you know, then I can figure out where to cut the bumper. But there it is. So let me get the other piece tacked up, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, I got a couple more pieces tacked on. I got like a 2-inch section added on, and then a flex section added on there. So that's what it looks like. I gotta figure out what, you know, I need to go out towards the bumper. I also have my wastegate. It's gonna recirc back into the dump tube, probably somewhere here where it's nice and solid. I probably won't, you know, go into where the pie cuts are, but so I have to cut a hole in that. Figure out the wastegate bend. It's gonna come, you know, up and over, and then figure out this. I fitted the bumper back on, taped the hole. I'm just gonna cut, well, not cut, but drill the hole saw, buy a hole right there, and then I can figure out for my flex pipe what angle I need to come out the bumper. Some people like to make the pipe first and cut it later. I find it's easier to cut the hole first and then bring your pipe through it. Then you know exactly where you're going to come through and then how much angle you need. So I think that's a little bit of a trick to get the pipe centered into where you cut. Even like a hood exit, which I think this car had before, because well, this hood came off another car, so it had a hood exit, but it wasn't on this car. But anyway, I'm gonna cut a hole in here, and then I'm gonna tack a couple of pieces up, and then I'll show you guys what that looks like. Alright guys, got the hole cut out. I cut a 4-inch hole out, so my exhaust is gonna be 3-inch. So I'll have a half inch of clearance the whole way around. I'm gonna probably make something for him to cover like the edges up. I had one of these made up CNC cut, but this metal is too thick. It's actually stainless, but I don't know if I'm gonna go something like that or just like a piece to cover it, because there's gonna be a lot of heat coming out of there. So I might just cut a piece, you know, to cover the whole edge of the bumper, because like the exhaust is gonna want to blow back. So all this metal, well, not metal, but all this is gonna get, you know, exhaust fumes and you know, whatever, oil or whatever burns out, come out of their fuel. So, but on that, hole is cut. You can see my flex pipe over there. Just gotta make a section from there out to here, and then trim that, and then that portion should be done. And then I'll make some kind of hanger for it, and then I'll do the wastegate recirc. Alright guys, I got everything mocked up. Exhaust coming out the bumper, all my pieces tacked up. Clearance is pretty good. Plenty of room from the radiator there. What I'm going to do is, when I get to it, put a hanger here, and then the pipe will hang up a little bit. But as you can see, plenty of flex, because that motor is going to move around a lot, even with half-sport mounts. But once it's hang with some hangers, and then I think it should be pretty nice. I'm going to trim it off, cut it. I don't know if I'm going to add a little piece then trim it, but I think it's going to come out pretty good. I'll get that hanger made up yet, and then I'll start welding everything. And I'll show you some clips of me welding it. But other than that, once that's done, then I can do the the top end of it, which is the wastegate side. Alright guys, just started to do some welding. I am purging it. I have that end cap capped off with a little hole. And then on this end, I just have my argon coming in. And then my tank here, probably running at like 10 CFH. I let it run for a little bit, but just started doing some welding. Focus. But as you can see, that's what it looks like. So I'm not gonna show the whole clip of me welding this, but I just wanted to show you what I'm doing and my setup. But I'll get this welded up, and then we can go from there. Alright guys, I got everything welded on this bumper exit. Welded there. Flex pipes welded. All the pie cuts are welded. So next thing is maybe a hanger, and then drop it back down and do the wastegate recirculation. Alright guys, starting on the wastegate recirculation tube. So I just got a 45 welded tacked to the flange here, 1.5 inch bellow, and then I gotta make a piece to go into here. So I'll get a couple pieces tacked up and then show you what it looks like. So here it is guys, the dump tube goes right into the downpipe. I got it all tacked up. Just gotta tack it on the car itself and then pull it all off and weld it. Alright guys, I got the dump tube all welded. There it is. And welded around there. I also added an O2 bung here and an O2 bung down there. The customer requested two. I also added a bracket. Let me get my light here. A bracket down there to hold the exhaust in place. As you can see, it's pretty centered. He wanted it stick out a little bit, so this is like a weird angle anyway, so the cut isn't it isn't straight. I wanted to follow the curve of the bumper so it doesn't look funny. As you can tell, it has a little curve to it, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. But there it is, guys, everything welded up, V-band on, wastegate on. So I just got to button a few things up, and then this one should be finished. So if you like seeing stuff like this, give me a like. If you aren't subscribed already, subscribe and then hit the bell icon so you can get notified when I publish my videos. But thanks for watching.